Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to get started with Rstudio, Tiny Text and Quarto. Before we use them, let's take a look how these tools work together. R is like an engine. It processes all the commands and do all the calculations. RStudio is an interface, a user-friendly wrap around R, which makes our work easier. Quarto is a publishing system that ties everything together, integrates text, R code, and LaTeX notation into a single file, then render it into multiple formats, including Word, HTML, and PDF. For the beginner, we would suggest render into HTML file and print into the PDF file. If you want to render into a PDF file directly using Quarto, you need to install Tiny Text or other LaTeX distribution. Tiny Text is a lightweight LaTeX distribution that I would recommend for use in this class. Let's move to RStudio. RStudio has 4 panels. The up left panel is the Program Edit panel. You can write your code and write your program here. For example, I can, let's first click to create a script. Click the New File button and click R script. You will show an R script here. Let's close this one. Okay. And we write down 2 as 4. And select the code. Click Run. You can see 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. So the R console is the engine. It runs the code and do all the calculations. And we can write down some comments here to make some notes. Summation. Okay. And we can also assign the number to a variable. For instance, we assign 6 to A, and this is called assignment operator. You can also make some notes. This is assignment operator. And we can print A to see if 6 already signed to A. Yes, A is equal to 6 now. Okay, now take a look of the up right panel. On the history button, we see all the work we have done. And under the environment button, it lists the variable A. So in the environment, actually, it lists all the variables in memory. Okay, and we only have A in memory, so A is equal to 6. And we also have a tutorial here. Another very helpful function is the help. I can use the help to see what is the function sqrt mean. Okay, let's run the function. Okay, so a window pop out under the help button, and we can see it's the description of the sqrt. Okay, so this is a very helpful function. You can certainly install the Tiny Text if you want to render a PDF directly. So you type install.package, and this is load the interface, the LaTeX interface, and the second line is install the LaTeX the system. Okay, so you can run the both codes, click run to install the Tiny Text in your computer. I already have them in my computer. Okay, so if you are done, we can save the file. So click a file and click save, or you can just click the save button. Let's name it as test. Now, let's create a Quarto file. Click the New File button, and the second line is the Quarto document. Click it. And give it a title. Let's just name it as test2. Author, me. Render into HTML, and the default engine is NateR, and we all use the default here, and click Create. Okay. So here's the default example of the Quarto, and this is the header, title, author, format, and edit. And we also have the R chunk here. Okay. Now set up the render. Okay. We can set up, use the visual edit to make it more visual, and the preview in viewer pane. So the viewer pane is in the lower right panel. So you can see here the viewer pane. So if you preview in the viewer pane, you can see the input and output in the same screen. And also select chunk output inline. Okay, now we are ready. Oh, actually, we also need to save the file. So we click Save the file. Let's just name it test2. Okay, now click Render. Okay, in the viewer pane, we see the HTML file of your programming, the QND file, the Quarto documents. Okay, so we have the test and the author, and have the description of the Quarto, and also running the code. So you will see here, 1 + 1 is equal to 2. So let's go back to here. We do have the chunk here, and we have the included in the R environment, 1 + 1. And when we render the file, the R is running. So do the calculation. So 1 + 1 is equal to 2. So you can certainly add some other calculation into the chunk, 3 + 5. Okay, if you render them, okay, you have another calculation, 3 + 5 equal to 8. You can also construct another chunk, type slash. Okay, you will see R code chunk and a Python code chunk. Let's click R code chunk. There's another chunk here, and you can write down your code. For instance, I want to take a look of the cost data and want to plot the cost of the speed versus distance. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so here is the data, the cost data with 2 variables, speed and the distance. And here is the plot, distance versus the speed, which means if a car is moving in a higher speed, it takes a longer distance to have a complete stop. Okay, so if you take a look over here, okay, so we only see 4. We can see here it's 2 × 2, which is equal to 4, but we didn't see the code. What happened here? Because we have added a command here, and echo equal to false, which means I don't want to, I only want the output 2 × 2 equal to 4, but I don't want the code 2 × 2. Okay, so the default is echo equal to true. That's why you have all the command here 1 + 1, and you have the output 2. But with echo equal to false, you only have the output. Okay, so this is the chunk option header. Okay, after chunk option header, you can write down your command. What is the your chunk option is. So if you want to run something using R, you need to include them into the R environment. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is the font size. So this font size is, you can see here is a header 2. If I want to make it smaller, you can click here to make it header 3, or even make it as normal size. Okay, so maybe. Okay, so here the chunk is included, the R is included in the braces. This is the visual format. If you switch to the source file, you will see this is the triple backtick. So triple backtick and also the brace are and included enclosed with the triple backtick. So this is the source code. And if you use the visual code, it will show slightly different. We do not need to use the triple tick. So usually I think I would suggest using just the visual format. Okay, so since we already learned a HTML file, so how to save it into a PDF file? You will click here, save as show in a new window. Okay, so your file will be shown in a new window, and then you right click to generate the menu. Okay, in the menu, you have the print button, click print. And save as PDF. Okay, so you just click save. And I just save into here, test2.pdf. So let's go back to see if I really have this to submit as the homework. Okay, test2. Okay, so my test2 have my name here, and I have the description of Quarto and the code, the plots, everything. Okay, then you can submit as your homework. And the last thing I want to discuss is how to generate a PDF file. So if you want to render into a PDF file, then you change this one to the PDF. And you also need to change another line, document, class, article. Okay, and click render. Okay, now it's more cleaner and more formal because this is a PDF file. And you can directly generate in the new window and save in your local computer. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching.